Vitilan i7 Pro. What do I know about it? Folding bike. Everybody loves them. They're all right. But let's open it up, go for a ride, see what it's all about. Ready? Let's get it. You know, it's always wonderful when a bike is literally all put together already. You just kind of open it up and here we go. Inside of the box, you get these 3 boxes, and then this is the battery. You see that branding? This is for the Vitilan i7. I'm sure some of the other batteries use the same one if they're utilizing the foldable internal battery mechanism. You do get this phone charger. We're not going to go over that right now. Inside of your first box, okay, you get a bike lock. That's nice. That comes stock, by the way. Owner's manual. That's pretty nice. That's actually a hardcover. That is literally a hardcover book. Charger, bag, pedals. Inside of your velvet bag, tools, reflectors. We don't care about any of that. You wear a helmet. So the pedals that you get are the kind where once it's screwed in, you kind of push it and then you flip it. I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm not strong enough. I haven't got to that point yet where I'm able to move the pedals. So we have a 960 watt-hour battery at 48 volts at 20 amp hour rating. The charger comes with is a 3 amp charger, so roughly 6 to 7 hours from fully dead to 100%. Well, that's fun. I want to talk about this phone mount. Let me tell you why. Because I prefer phone mounts that do this. A lot of people say they're bad because of vibration and the screen gets loose. What do you have? A Samsung S6? But what's good with phone mounts like this, and you think I'm lying, I'm going to go ahead and cut scene real quick and show you my Ducati that I actually have one on there that's just like this. Let me see your phone. So this is a 15 Pro Max. You'll see that that fits in with the OtterBox standby. That's my third hand there. You see I got my nails done. But that will do a 15 Pro Max, no problem. That is not a 15 Pro Max. That is a 15. Where's the Pro Max? It is being used. Okay, so whatever. You get the point. That is essentially a 15 Pro Max just because of the size of the case that's on there. But that is as big as it gets. So 15 Pro Max is probably standby. Going to fit because this is the rugged. We just tested it. It's good to go. Huh. Well, that's interesting. That is hollow. What we have here is a hollow nut. This is interesting. So they're using an actual bolt that is hollow. So this whole thing comes out. Instead of actually having one bolt that could strip, this is pretty innovative. This is extremely innovative. This might be the first time I've ever actually seen a reverse nut or a reverse bolt. I like that. I like that idea a lot. How many times I've tightened up bolts here and essentially they snap or break. This, no way. Now, what's the worst you're going to do is make that a little bit bigger? It's pretty ingenious. And then they go a step further. They have this little tiny push button. You're going to push that in while you pull this down. Easy. Goes in, snaps in. Watch that. There it is. This does not move. This little tiny guy holds that in. I like that a lot. Look at that little ingenuity in there. The bike is all put together. The only thing we got to do is put this guy on. Scratch that up a little bit. That's our fault. A little bit unorthodox. So we have our controls for our blinkers on the right and left with your horn. Usually that's on the left side, but we have our throttle on the left side. Love that. It's interesting to put that there. To turn this on, you must have the key in hand. Put the key in. and you have to turn it to the left. And then you come up here, you hit the power button, and then it'll turn on. It's a pretty nice display. And then just because we're here, we're going to test this real quick. 28 miles per hour on the odometer. Test the brakes. That's cruise control. That's what I'm talking about. Very nice. We're going to fill up the tires. We're going to take it out. Ready to rock and roll. Let's ride. I do apologize for that flickering right there. That's because of the refresh rate of the screen versus on the camera. So once you have this bike on, if you press the power button, you'll be able to cycle through. And this has one little sexy feature I've never seen on an e-bike. So if we tap that, you'll see the amount of time. You're going to see the odometer in total. You're going to see that is the power that you're using. Check this one out. That's the temperature of outside. I absolutely love that. We see that on motorcycles, we see it on cars, never seen it on an e-bike. And then if we press the pedal assist, you'll see it goes up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then bring it down to 0 is just going to essentially be 0 pedal assist whatsoever. Okay, so very smooth. Pedal assist 1, very smooth. Pedal assist 2, let's bring the gears up a little bit. Pedal assist, holy cow, that took off. Pedal assist 3, wow, wow, wow. That's 4, that's moving. Oh yeah, wow, that is nice. Test those brakes. See that suspension go right down. Very nice, bottoms out. We do have adjustments too, so let's adjust that real quick. Very comfortable, I'll tell you that. Seat is very comfortable. Let's get it. That 8-speed too, wow, you can feel that. That's kind of at 24 miles per hour. That is comfortable. Cruise control activated, love that. Love that. Great pickup too. Go for a throttle again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. 9, 10. That's how you start back over. Wow, 0 lag, man. 0. This bike is comfortable.
Today, I found the strength to open my eyes, leave it all behind. So open your mind and realize that your beautiful world could take my life. I'm sinking under, drowning faster. Please just let me breathe. The air is leaving and I'm lost in need of you again. You break me down and you make me surrender. We are as Romeo and Juliet. separate, but it seems the time has come that you run my life with no hope to fight, and no time to hide.
Vitilan i7 Pro. I don't think it's a Pro. I think it's just a regular version. However, I felt like a professional. You know why? Because I'm losing weight. You saw it. You saw the stats. I'm on Facebook. If not, I'm going to put it on the community tab. Pretty excited. Can't lose weight. Ride an e-bike. You're right. Been calorie counting, but it has nothing to do with where I'm at. 8 speed. Let me tell you the benefit of this. Now, this is, I think, a lot of companies usually neglect to do this, and they just go with the 7 speed. Going with an 8 speed made this that much more fun. And the reason being is at 20 miles per hour or 21 or 22, 23, 24, you're actually still pedaling. A lot of these other bikes are really getting into the class 3. And what that means is you can only go 28 with the pedals, but only 20 with the throttle. This being on the left thumb felt so comfortable. I get it. A lot of you guys don't like it. You prefer the twist throttle. I prefer the thumb. Really nice display on this. 20x4 rims. Fat, chubby, tiny. I just wish my stomach was the same. And then on the rear, you do have a cargo rack, but it didn't come with any wood. Just regular rack, 25 kilograms. I don't know why they put the weight on that. You do have that rear suspension, the front suspension, that is in fact adjustable. Little micro adjustments. Can't hear it. Worth it. Shit. But it is. Hey, listen. You hear that? You hear that? Isn't that nice? Certain level of satisfaction there. When you look at those shocks, what do you think of? Where's my motorcycle riders at? Öhlins? I get the same thing. It's obviously not Öhlins, but that look is very apparent. 180 millimeter front and rear discs, and they're interesting looking. All the bikes that I've done reviews on, I've never seen any that look custom made, and they are. They have those fantastic magnesium alloy mag wheels. It's what magnesium, ouch. Magnesium alloy. And they are branded 750 watt rear motor on this, 12 peak beast. When I hit that throttle, I was moving. Wow, 0 lag. And you don't need a pedal. But if you do want to pedal, you have an 8 speed shifter on this. All the other bikes, I think there's been 2 out of all the bikes I've done reviews on that actually have more than 7. You know what they need to do, not just this company, all of them, is start adding either 8 or 9 gears. So this, in fact, when you are doing the pedal assist, it's actually gonna help you out with that. Now, I burned some calories, legitimate. I did, I'm not being funny. My watch thought that I was going 22 miles per hour on a bicycle and was like, good job. You did 340 calories. No, I didn't. I didn't do 340 calories. I like it though, but I had to shut it off because I feel like I'm cheating, filling up my rings too quick. Anyway, let's move forward. The price point that this is at, look, you get a horn. Everybody loves a horn. You don't get the little dingle hopper, you know, you don't get that. You get this little sweet number, and it's not on. In order to turn this bike on, you do have to use the key. Not the biggest fan of that. I get it, it's anti-theft, but it's a bicycle. So as much as you may think that having a key in the pocket is going to stop somebody from stealing your bike, you're wrong. You probably got there by using the electric part, right? They're going to steal it without using that. It's going to be useless because you need the key. So turn the key on, held down the power button. Let me show you the headlight real quick. And then if you hold the down button, you're going to see it. Jitter, that's just walk mode. That's in case if you don't want to actually walk with the bike, you let the bike walk itself, and then you just kind of guide it like a geriatric with the little walker. And then you have lovely blinkers that that is your right blinker, that is your left blinker. This is your horn. If you're in traffic and you're a little concerned that someone might hit you, don't use that. Just yell. It's louder. It's more robust. It'll work better. 960 watt hours in this battery. That's a big boy. It's big. And at 20 amp hour rating, okay, it's going to give you the power and it's going to last a while. I get it. You want me to ride it. You want me to test it, tell you how long it lasts. I'm losing weight, and soon enough, I actually wanted to take out my significant other and say, let's go for a ride. I did earlier, like when I was riding this one, because I feel more playful when I'm on the e-bike. And why not come play with me, you know? So when we got this bike, it was already folded. Essentially, you just kind of unfold it, boom, fill up the tires, make sure you tighten down all of the nuts and bolts because some of these were loose, especially the handlebar. I'm going to show you how you essentially fold these up. Pull this down. They all fold the same, literally. It's just a latch, folds together, pedals in, done. There is no way to keep this together, so make sure if you are going to fold this up and put this in your trunk that you have some type of bungee cord because, well, there's no magnets. That's something that they could have changed on this. Other than that, I really like the bike. I like the rear suspension, love the front suspension that is adjustable. The rear, not so much. You can't really adjust it, but it's better than nothing. So across the board for $14.99, I would 100% recommend this just because it has hydraulic discs, that big ass battery at a 20 amp hour rating, and the charger at 3 amps. Yeah, that's nice. There is a link in the description down below, and that leads you to my website that I created that essentially has all of the bikes that I've done reviews on, and you can compare each bike, which one's better, and even compare the prices. Stay beautiful.